Yes, so I think there's a couple types of responsibilities. I think a lot of what we've talked about at this camp has been personal responsibility, and just, being accountable for your own actions and making sure you do what you're supposed to do. But then there's other types of responsibility too, like that come with titles. Let's say you wanted to be a doctor, right? A doctor has certain responsibilities. They have to go to school, they have to do all these things and check these boxes. Those are responsibilities. But personal responsibility, to me, is your word, right? If I say I'm gonna show up to practice, I'm gonna show up there, right? That's being responsible. And just being true to your word is really a big part of responsibility. And then the other thing that's cool about that is when you take accountability and you take ownership of your own actions, you also get to take ownership of the consequences, okay? And I know that sounds bad, right? If you were to do something wrong and you break a rule, you gotta own up to that, right? That's a consequence. But there's also positive consequences. If you come into practice every day and you put in extra work, you go home and you lift weights and you run and you train, right? A consequence of doing all those things is you're gonna get better. You're gonna get better at life, you're gonna be a better person, you're gonna be healthier, you're also gonna be better at whatever it is you wanna do, right? So consequences aren't negative, but you get to own those, right? So a consequence that I got of training and all the years of wrestling was that I got to the national finals. That was a consequence of all the hard work that I did. And I owned that, and I was very grateful for that. So taking accountability and ownership of everything that you do leads to some really cool things.